Matey Beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a tutorial using all Too Faced products. I'm not going to lie, I did use a few products that were not Too Faced. I just don't have a Too Faced product in that category to use right now, so I apologize about that, but everything else is completely Too Faced on my face. Too Faced on my face. Say that a million times. Before we jump into the video, I want to remind you to subscribe before you leave so you don't miss out on my future videos, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy tutorials. And then the last thing that I have is click that notification bell down below if you want to be notified when I upload. I upload Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. All right, let's get into the video. So first we're going to start off with the eyes. Unfortunately, I don't have a Too Faced primer, but I do have the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. This is one of my favorites. So we're gonna start off here and just prep the lids. I'm gonna go in and set it with this shade from the Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. It's this white one right here. I'm gonna set that primer down. So today we're going to be using this palette right here. This is the Too Faced Natural Eye Palette. This came out forever ago and I just never did a look with it. So I figured it's time to sit down and do a look with it. These are what the shades look like on the inside. There's not a whole lot of like crease and transition shades and blending shades in there. So I'm going to also use this Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette to start working up the color in my crease. I'm going to start out with this really light shade right here. It's a light brown, and start putting this into my crease. Now, part of why I'm doing my eyes first is in case there's any fallout, I don't want that coming down onto my foundation. Sometimes Too Faced shadows can be a little powdery. I do like little circular motions into a windshield wiper motion. I find that this blends out the shadows the best. I'm going to go in with a little darker shade. It's this one right here, this dark brown, and I'm going to start working that up in my crease, but just a little bit lower than where we put that first shade. Yeah, don't bring it up too high. Right in that eyeshadow pocket. This is going to add a little bit of depth to the eye look. And I'm kind of blending it in the outer V right here, and then I'm pulling it into the crease, but again, keeping it pretty low. Now that I have that darker shade blended out, I'm gonna go in with this natural eye palette again. Take this really dark brown shade called Sexpresso. The names of this palette, by the way. I love Too Faced names, but this is the shade I'm going to go in with. I'm going to take a different brush and start working that in my outer V only though. So I'm just taking that and stamping it right there in the outer part of my eye. And I'm just blending the edges. Then I'm going to take this shade right here. It's called Push Up. It's this really pretty metallic pink shade, and take that on my finger. I find that these work best when applied with my finger, and I'm going to put this on my lid. I'm not going to cover up that outer darker part that we just put on. Just cover your lid up until that point. Then I'm going to go back in one more time and just build up that outer V, because I feel like when we applied that lid shade, a lot of times the color in the outer V can kind of get blended away. So you just want to go in and add that back in. This is one of my favorite palettes for like a daytime smoky eye. I'm just blending the outer V shade in with the lid shade. That's all I'm going to do for now. I'm going to go in with some primer. I don't have a Too Faced primer. I'm sorry. I'm going to go in with the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. Most of this tutorial is a Too Faced tutorial, and just with a couple other items in it. Then again, I'm going to use another primer from Smashbox. It's the Minimize Pores Primer. I just haven't found a Too Faced primer that I'm in love with. I know that people with dry skin love the Hangover RX primer. Then I'm going to go in with my Too Faced foundation. This is the Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation. This has peach and sweet fig cream. This can be a little overpowering for people. Like the smell, it smells like peaches, man. Peaches everywhere. My favorite way to apply this foundation is with a beauty blender, so that's what I'm gonna do. This is an amazing foundation if you like your foundation to be long wearing and also transfer proof. I love this foundation. It gives a good amount of coverage, it's super long wearing, and it makes my oily skin matte throughout the day, so I don't have to worry about getting super oily. And I also love that this is pretty much transfer proof. Like once you put this on, it's not going anywhere. I'm dragging it down my neck a little bit because this is not the right shade for me and it does not match my neck. When you have a foundation that's a little bit off in color, I always drag it down my neck a little bit. It'll keep you from having that like really harsh line right here. Then I'm going to go in with my concealer. Again, I don't have a, oh wow, I just threw that cap. I don't have a concealer from Too Faced that I'm in love with, so I'm just going to take this Tarte Shape Tape concealer, put a little bit right underneath my eyes, like that big. You don't want to apply it too much with the Tarte Shape Tape because a little goes a long way. It's extremely full coverage. And then to even out the color, because the concealer is just a little lighter than the foundation, I go up here and do like a little flower thing down my nose and then on my chin just a little bit. This is going to help the foundation not look so dark compared to the concealer. And then I'm going to take the Too Faced Peach Perfect Mattifying Loose Setting Powder and set my entire face with this. This is a great powder. It's so finely milled. It makes your skin look extremely flawless, extremely smooth, and like you have zero pores. The great thing is it has a stopper thing for the sifter so that the powder doesn't go everywhere. And I just take it on a Morphe M438 brush and set everything. Be careful though when you are talking, when using this powder, because it will go in your mouth. Or even just like breathing with this powder. It goes everywhere. This powder truly sets my foundation so nicely. Now that my face is set down with powder, I'm going to go in with a very old bronzer from Too Faced. This is the Soulmates, and it's the blushing bronzer, and it's called Ross and Rachel. It's why I got it. You can believe me when I say that I love Friends, and I will buy a product just because it's called Ross and Rachel. But in here, it actually has a blush, and then it also has a bronzer right here. So I'm going to go in with this bronzer part. Add it to the bottom of my cheeks. One thing you can also do if your foundation is just way too dark for your skin and doesn't match your neck is you can bring your bronzer down onto your neck. It's a really great way to make it look like it matches even when it doesn't. So I'm actually going to do that right now. Just bring it down on your chest a little bit. This is a super pretty bronzer, maybe a little dark for me. And I'm going over it with my powder brush just to blend it into my skin a little more. Then I'm going to go in with one of my favorite blushes of all time. This is the Too Faced Love Flush Blush in Baby Love. It opens exactly like the bronzer did, and there's the blush right there. It's a really pretty nude pink blush. Gives a really, really pretty color. Next, I'm going to do highlight, and I'm going to be using the Too Faced Candlelight Softly Illuminating Translucent Powder. So this is actually a translucent powder, but as you can see, like up close, it has a lot of pretty little gold speckles in there. So that's what I'm going to be trying to build up on the high points of my cheek. This is going to be more of a subtle highlight, but I really like the way that this looks. It gives off just a little bit of glow, but it's not going to be overpowering. This would be a good highlight if you are a beginner at highlighting your skin. If you are scared you're going to go overboard, this is a product where you're not going to go overboard because you do have to build it up a little bit. I'm going to go down my nose on the tip and right at my cuvito. This is definitely a highlight if you are a fan of more natural highlights. I'm going to do my brows really quick and I will be right back. Now I'm going to go back in with this Too Faced Natural Eye Palette, take a flat definer brush, and then go back in with that Sexpresso shade right there that we used to deepen up the outer V, and I'm going to take that really closely to my lower lash line. I'm not going to bring it all the way in, just like about halfway in to my eye. I'm going to take a smudger brush and just blend that out. This will naturally bring in the part that we didn't cover with the dark shadow in just a little bit. Next, I'm just going to add some black eyeliner. You can add any black eyeliner that you want. If you have a favorite from Too Faced, use that. And I'm going to put it on my lower lash line. Then for the inner corner, I'm just going to add a little bit of this highlight right here that we used before and build that up on the inner part of my eye. This brings a little bit of light back to your eye and makes it look a little more open. Before I add lipstick, I'm going to take a little bit of mascara and put this on my lower lash line. Lastly, I'm going to go in with this Wet n Wild liquid lipstick, Catsuit. This is in the shade Give Me Mocha. I'm going to add this to my lips. This is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to check down in the description box to see every product that I used in this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!